Off the highlights, Trans got the vision like all 22. Talking Texan CJ in the pocket like the rent is due. Nico rules like poetry, stances with separation. Well off the edge like karma, no hesitation. Lamar with the legs, but he throw like he learned from Breeze. Jamal like a Tesla, zero noise when he leave. Jefferson dancing the zone like he's paid to perform. Parsons bring storms, that boy born in the swarm. Jaden looking like a mirror of prime Mike Vick. Miles coming off the snap like the beat just hit. This that Trans Bates energy, game meets gospel, breaking down legends while the logo go colossal. Off the highlights with Trans Bates, we break plays and elevate. Off the highlights with Trans Bates, straight facts, no clickbait. Off the highlights with Trans Bates, film rolling, don't hesitate. Off the highlights with Trans Bates, real talk, never second rate. Every route, every raid, we decode what the greats create. Every name you debate, we define who really hold the weight. Off the highlights with Trans, where the truth never shows up late. Off the highlights with Trans Bates, just hit play, don't wait, don't wait.
Off the highlights, your host Trans Bates. What's good? So I'm gonna just get straight to the point. She glitch. Silverback. But yeah. Right now we're going to be doing the College QB Spotlight Part 2. These are the future stars unleashed. We already did Part 1. Check out that video. We covered DJ Lagway, Lenore Sellers, Marcel Reed, Taylor Green. This one is probably a little bit more well-known college quarterbacks that we are aiming to see. We got the big names. We got the high-ranking quarterbacks. We got some potential Heisman winners or candidates, you would say, in there. So what we're going to do here, as far as college spotlight go, this week, at the end of the week, Saturday, Thursday, college came on last week, but this is the big week, big opening week, week 1. So pretty much what we do is we cover each quarterback. That's on the spotlight. We watch the highlights, and I will go down 5 pros, 5 cons, and miss my 5 pros, 5 cons, and then we're going to go with what their NFL comparisons will be. Now, the NFL comparisons are not going to necessarily be who they are going to play like, but it should give you pretty much outline of how their game might look if they reach a certain level, if they make it to the NFL, and what they might look like. But I think these are good 5 quarterbacks that have high potential to be in the college playoffs, Heisman candidates, and could potentially win a national championship. And then who knows where that takes them. I think it's one of the most anticipated college seasons we're looking forward to. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow. I'm down on YouTube. Subscribe. Follow on X. Follow on TikTok. I've been spotlighting them on TikTok, but this is the official Off the Highlights episode with those quarterbacks. So without further ado, I'm gonna pull up my notes. We're gonna go down the notes. We're gonna look at the highlights. After the highlights, I'm gonna give my first. I'm gonna give my couple thoughts, and then I'm gonna just go down the notes that I have. So First up, I think it is Drew Allar from Penn State. Let's check out his highlights. Let's go. So, my first couple thoughts. Big kid, big arm, stands well in the pocket. They did make the playoffs last year. I think he's at that point where it's like, are you going to take the next step, and what does the next step look like? He was shedding some tackles, athletic a little bit. So I would say that he is the prototypical quarterback that an NFL team might be looking for. He's gonna fit a certain scheme that a coach is looking for. So we're gonna go into the NFL comps. Now, these are the NFL comps. The first one is Justin Herbert for Drew Allar. I could see it. Size-wise, arm strength, athletic, mobile a little bit, but his game doesn't rely on that. Then you have Carson Wentz. I think he was a little big quarterback. He was really mobile. That's why he ended up getting injured that one time. But I think it's possible. Carson Wentz had like Carson Wentz was like a bright star. He flamed out pretty quickly. And then you have Daniel Jones, who to me I feel is like not overly athletic, but can be used in certain situations. And I think that Daniel Jones is like, if he doesn't develop outside, like if he doesn't develop to that next level, like Daniel Jones is a functional NFL quarterback. In the right scheme, you can get a lot out of him, but he himself is not going to elevate the team, you know. So let's go down these 5 pros, 5 cons. What we got? I think some of them are pretty obvious. We got elite arm talent. Like I said, can make every throw on the field, velocity and touch, deep out, seam shots, and off-platform throws, all flash. You got the NFL frame, like I said, and compared to Justin Herbert, he's 6'5", 240. You know what I'm saying? One of those tall, he's going to stand tall in the pocket, got the big arm, and he has the underrated athleticism. He has a low turnover rate, protects the ball well, makes cautious decisions, and rarely forces throws into dangerous windows. Don't even you know what I'm saying? That's a good floor for a rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You do want him to be a gunslinger, but you don't want him to be so, you know what I'm saying, not aware of what he's doing. He has a mechanically clean release, compact arm motion with a smooth, repeatable release. He doesn't waste movements. So it's not too much they probably would have to work on for him when he gets in the NFL. And he's poised in structure, stays composed when operating from a clean pocket, and doesn't panic in his first read as man. So those are all good floors as far as him in this season being able to lead the Penn State team to the playoffs. I think his floor is being able to lead Penn State to the playoffs. Big games, what does he do then? Now in the 5 cons, if he's can I help you?
I do.
Huh?
I do.
We're not doing that right now. And I'm doing a podcast, so I would appreciate it if you let me be for a second or two. All right. Thank you. All of y'all up. Upstairs. All of y'all. And this is supposed to be my man cave. So, like you say, lacks aggression downfield, can be overly conservative, sometimes passes on big play opportunities leading to the stall drive. So, like I said, you want to mix between a gunslinger and being safe. You don't want him to be too safe to where he's not making those big time throws, in which the big time games he's going to need to make them. Inconsistent under pressure, mechanics can break down when rush, needs improved pocket movement and internal clock. So you're going to need him behind a solid offensive line until he can get his pocket movement and his wherewithal within that pocket up. And you just want to practice more on the mechanics, because usually a lot of quarterbacks, when they get rushed, don't really handle it that well. Like you could be an Aaron Rodgers who really knows how to maneuver the pocket, but then you can see like a situation like Shador is like he's dropping too far back in the pocket, so he's kind of running into the rush instead of stepping up. And then after getting hit, like what did you do after that? Like why the pressure is on you? He has limited playmaking outside of structure, athletic, but not a true dual threat. Doesn't create much with his legs when the play breaks down. So he's not like the last couple of people that we've seen, the Lenore Sellers, the DJ Lagways, the Taylor Greens. He does have the athletic ability, kind of probably more so along the lines of, just like you said, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, like a Dak Prescott. Like we see them and they have the mobility, but they don't really utilize it as much compared to like a Mahomes, right? A Mahomes, he's not going to rush for 500, 600 yards a year, but he's going to have critical moments in a game where it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 that he just breaks free and runs for 25 yards. So you probably want to see that more. You know what I'm saying? Or the outside of structure, like a Josh Allen running to the sideline, a Lamar. If he can't reach that, he probably won't reach that level based upon he doesn't have that athletic ability. He's not at that level. But he can be a little bit more. I think they want to try to use Justin Herbert a little bit more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Use your legs a little bit. You are athletic. Use your legs a little bit. Needs better anticipation when throwing the windows, waits for receivers to get open rather than throwing them open. It slows down the timing of the offense. I don't know if that's more so like you trust your power in your arm a little bit too much, like see it, throw it instead of anticipation. Some quarterbacks can get away with it, not all. And he's still young, so he still has leadership and command. He's still growing, still developing, still trying to be the field general. And I think you could probably see that last year in the playoffs, because in following him, I've seen a lot of his highlights, and it seemed like he's a, you know what I'm saying? He was like he's one of those quarterbacks that a lot of NFL teams probably would keep their eye on. But when you get to them spots, when you in those moments, like CJ Stroud in the Georgia State game or Georgia game, Michael Penix when they was playing Texas, like those games, those are the games that you really want to see that him grab the bull by the horns, proverbial, and really take hold. He really wants and really make a name for yourself in those games. That's where that they see you as a leader. They see you, oh, you can come in on this team and you can really take hold. And I wasn't going to do this, but now that I think about it, if he does come out, I could see a team like, depending on what happens with the Colts, a Colts team. Maybe the Saints. I don't know. I don't know how they feel. They took Tyler Shuck. I would assume that Drew Allen could potentially be a better Tyler Shuck. But maybe the Colts. I can see the Colts. So, all right. On to the next one. Oh, hold up. So, like I said, college, their games are starting this week. That's Penn State. Penn State is taking on Nevada August 30th at 3:30 p.m. It's going to be a jam-packed game for this week of college football. So let's go on to the next guy. Banners. Okay. Next guy, Garret Nussmeier out of LSU. I've heard a lot about him. I've seen a lot. Seen a lot of highlights. He seems like a real gunslinger. So let's check out his highlights. See what he's talking about. What I do want to say is rest in peace to Kyron Lacy. After like watching a lot of Garret Nussmeier highlights, Kyron Lacy was, man, it was a sad situation. It's a lot of talented brothers, a lot of talented athletes, and I know it's a lot that they go through mentally. It's a lot on their plate, and you know what I'm saying, they make mistakes, right? And I think in his case, he made a mistake that really hindered his future and how it would look. And I think that kind of aided in him going down the path that he went down. And it's such a waste of talent, but you never really know what's going on in the mind with everything that happened. And I think he probably he had the ability to probably, you know what I'm saying, he might not have got drafted where he wanted to get drafted, but he still had the opportunity to make an impression. So just RIP to the boy, man. Hopefully they can honor him in the end zone a little bit more with his dances. But back to Garret Nussmeier, he's just like you know what I'm saying? He's moving around in the pocket, he's slinging the ball. Uh he looks like a good leader. Um Not necessarily my type of quarterback that I like, but he looked feisty. Feisty. So his NFL comps are Jameis Winston. Hey, if there's one thing Jameis going to do, he's going to sling that motherfucker. If you're open, if you're not open and shit, he's going to get that shit to you. You always fuck with that. Tyler Heineke, and watching him with the Panthers, it's like he was a little Brett Favre-ish. Like you know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things where I feel like Tyler Heineke on his end, the physical aspect of what he wanted to do, he couldn't reach. Like he physically he couldn't reach what he wanted to do, but his mentality was there to like. And Drew Lock, so the same. So he's within this vein. I would maybe a Baker also, like they say. So let's look at the pros, the cons. We got a live arm talent. So that means that he's whipping that motherfucker. And Nussmeier has legit NFL caliber arm strength. He could draw the ball from a far hash, hit deep shots in stride, and make tight window throws. That's what you want from a quarterback. He's confident. He's aggressive. He has an aggressive mentality. That's that Jameis Winston, 30 for 30. He plays with no hesitation. He trusts his arm, and he isn't afraid to take shots downfield, even in a tight coverage. So clearly, you can see from Drew Allar to him, Drew Allar is probably a little bit safer with the passes, but Nussmeier is he in there. I'm saying it. Like I said, you can see his movements in the highlights. He can get away from defenders. If they blitzing, he can move around. He's going to extend the plays. He create off script. He thrives when structure breaks down. Yeah, he got that meant Mahomes. You know, you got that Mahomes in him. If you want to say something, that Mahomes. He got a quick release in mechanics, clean, efficient throwing motion. He doesn't waste time getting the ball out. So, and they say from the tape, flashes of high-level processing. When locked in, he's shown the ability to read full field concepts and manipulate safeties, show signs of maturity in a true field general. Let's look at the cons. Hey, whenever they say he got a live arm and he, what I'm saying, just throwing it, he's turnover prone. Risky decisions, confidence sometimes leads to poor choices. Force balls in the double coverage, throw late across the middle. I mean, I feel like as time and reps go, I would say that, but damn, you got James. You would hope that you could kind of like coach it out of him. And I guess the way he plays off platform, that kind of Mahomes-ish, in a sense, where Mahomes like footwork coming out of college was not really good. But if you're good enough at everything else, you can kind of get away with it. His base breaks down at times, especially under pressure, leads to inaccuracy or off-target throws. I mean, you might just have to live with that. You don't want inconsistent footwork, and you don't want turnovers. It's kind of capping. So the thought would be that I could, as a coach, would be how to harness his playmaking ability, but have him make safer throws or be more consistent with his footwork. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really have he has limited starting experience, has mostly been a backup. So he had the time last year. I think they did pretty well. He gets another shot this year, and then he's probably going to the league. Has the refined touch throws, tends to fire everything at one speed, needs more nuance to the throws and require learning to touch. That could lead to the turnovers thrown across the middle. So he's a high-level processor, but he gets stuck on reads. Sometimes locks into his first option and delays moving through progressions, which can result in late throws or sacks. So to me, that would be like he might be trying to dial it in a little bit too much. Moving the progressions would result in late throws or sacks. And I think given his ability to be a playmaker, I think that affects a quarterback sometimes. Sometimes they feel like they can, they can make it work. You know what I'm saying? They can get out of a sack, or they can make that throw across their body or across the field, and it made a poor decision. So I think Garret Nussmeier, I feel like clay wise, you will want to work with. You will want to work with Nussmeier. I think you can. If you work with him, I think you can kind of protect him from himself. Probably go through that 2-3 year process of trying to hone in that turnover aspect, because you don't want him to lean so far into it that he can't get out of it like a Jameis. Like Jameis, however many years in his career, is still he's throwing the good throws, but he's also throwing the interception. So so him as a starter isn't really going to be consistent for your team. It's the ups and downs. You kind of want to you want to get him early in. You want him to play. You want him to be out there. You want him to slinging the ball, but you don't want him to not take the time out to bury himself in the hole. But you want that mentality. Trust me. You want that mentality. You don't want your quarterback not throwing something because he holding on to the ball that's going to lead to sacks. Throw it. That's all. Team wise, I have to see who would. I think they said his father is an OC in the Saints. So Kellen Moore just decided to make Spencer Rattler the starting quarterback. They drafted Shuck in the second round. Shuck can throw, but he's a little hesitant. I mean, he's quick, but I don't know if he really throws like the dangerous throws. Rattler is a little bit more like Bakerish to me. So maybe Nussmeier, depending on what Rattler do. Maybe a Nussmeier for the Saints. Maybe also the Jets. Maybe you want to get him in a run heavy offense to kind of limit his risky decisions. You know? Who we got next? The prodigal son, or the prodigal grandson. The prodigal grandson. All right. So who we got next? The one with the name, man. The one everybody is looking for. Arch Manning. Everybody's trying to figure out what he's going to do. Oh, with Garret Nussmeier. 2 for 1 on that one. They play August 30th at 7:30 p.m. and they play Clemson. And we have the Clemson quarterback on this list. So that first week we're going to get, we're getting the lineup. Oh, that's Saturday. Yeah, you ain't gonna see me. Saturday, you ain't gonna see me. I mean, I might post something, but you ain't gonna see me. Next up, Arch Manning. I don't really have much to say about Arch. I think the name says it all. A lot of expectations. Playing for Texas, they made the playoffs. I think they made the national. Did they make? No, they didn't. They made it deep in the playoffs with Quinn Ewers. A lot of people had questions saying if Arch is better than Quinn Ewers, why didn't he start? I don't think that really factored into anything. I think knowing Arch is going to come back, I think they allowed Ewers to have his year. Archie Manning, his grandfather came out and said he's staying. There's a lot of debate, but then Arch came out and said he hasn't decided. So I would assume that if Arch has a great year, and he lives up to the expectations of the last name, and he can get deep in the play. I think have a good deep playoff run. I would think national championship. If he has a national champion, I think he's coming out. Or that Heisman, either or, I would believe. And depending on who has the first pick. So let's check out his highlights. Archie. So for Arch, I mean, he's a Manning, so you know that he has the backing, he has the DC running. All right. Easy. All right. He has the Manning backing, so you know that he has the training. This is funny as shit that he's the like if you talk about generations and eras of quarterback play and how being mobile is an asset now. Most quarterbacks coming out, if they are not mobile or don't have a little bit of mobility to them, they are at a disadvantage. And now it's a man that can run. That's a dangerous thing and shit. Let's a man that can run. That's crazy. A Hawaiian Manning. All right, let's look at his joints. Now his NFL comps, ironically, to his uncle, Eli Manning, Mac Jones, and Kenny Pickett. That's a I think he's a lot. Kenny Pickett is kind of athletic. Eli didn't really run. Mac Jones didn't run. I don't really see the Eli and Mac Jones. I don't really see the Kenny Pickett either. But let's go. Notes say high football IQ, NFL pedigree, comes from a legendary football family, groomed at a young age. He shows strong understanding of the game, defenses coverage at stage. He's already ready. Like mentally, he's prepared to handle what comes with the quarterback position. If not, then he fucked up somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Clearly, a lot of people go through the Manning passing camp. So, yeah. Clean pocket mechanics, footwork, very polished, technical, smooth, repeatable throwing motions, well trained, footwork comfort. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his floor is going to be good because of who his uncle is and just the pedigree, grandfather, and all that. So he's ready for the spotlight. He has the pedigree. Now he just has to show and prove. He got good athleticism and mobility, underrated as a runner. Can move the chains with his legs and play, throw, run. Yeah. Hawaiian Manning. Accurate and short to intermediate game. Places the ball well on timing routes. Shows good ball placement and control. Pressure on slants out and timing throws. And he's poised under pressure. Rarely rattled. Keeps composure. When pressured or when breaks down. Even in tough spots. But I guarantee you the con is going to be he ain't really got that time. And I see a lot of people argue about that. You know? He's limited live game experience at collegiate level. Barely played at Texas due to Quinn Ewers being the starter. Oh, what is this? Haven't seen him in high stakes games, real time college action. Arm strength is good, not elite. Like they say, he doesn't have the wild arm like a Caleb, but JJ McCarthy, deep outs, more effort. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's why they're giving him the Mac Jones comparison. Still growing into frame, speed of the game. So yeah, he's still developing. The more reps he get, the better I think he's going to be. He has the pedigree. Play safe times, opposite of a gunslinger, can be overly cautious and robotic. That's sometimes I wonder, like as a kid growing up underneath of that quarterback tutelage and that training, do you become so manufactured with the throwing motion that he had an off script play where he little tossed that shit to the running back, but it's kind of like what your base is. Like Mahomes, I think him playing baseball and doing that kind of like he plays loose, like a Lamar, like you know what I'm saying. Like Lamar, I mean he definitely has training passing, but I think Lamar is more in the realm of like backyard football. Like you can't really plan for it. And the weight of expectation. They got him winning championships, Heisman winners, Manning going number 1 overall. Like he has to develop still. He has to consistently play. He having the opportunity. But what happens are these unrealistic expectations that we're having for him. Now, and I see a lot of people I wouldn't say shade Eli, not shade Arch, but we talk about nepotism when we talk about Dion and Shador and how that played out. And like a lot of people feel like they trash Shador for being Dion's son, but they praise Archie Manning for being a Manning, right? And I could see that. I mean, I could see that we don't have a lot of reps, a lot of highlights, a lot of tape to go into figuring out what Arch will be at the next level. Uh, but that's why we're playing the season. That's why we have college, and we're going to see. He has the hype. I mean, that's he. You know what I'm saying? He went to Texas. That's the hype. So we're going to see. We seen where Shador is at. I mean, there's a lot of. It ain't an ideal situation, but I feel like it's also a lot of excuses. For play, like, do we misread some of these quarterbacks? Do we not look at them like projects? Do we feel like, oh, he should be this, instead of looking at him like, oh, he's you know what I'm saying? He's a project. It's going to take a few years for him to relearn and get rid of those bad habits of playing behind a bad line and stuff like that. So this is probably why a lot of, outside of the NIL money, a lot of these college quarterbacks will probably want to go somewhere they're going to go with a coach that can help develop them to get them to the next level. Sarkisian, he's a good coach. You know, a lot of people talk about that Tennessee offense not being conducive to helping develop a player like a quarterback. So I think he has the opportunity. It was a playoff team. He has the opportunity to really show. You know, do Shador playing under Dion, does that hurt him more? You know, like, do we just look at it as it's a great thing because, you know what I'm saying, father is coaching his son, but is he the best coach for his son? You know, so I think we're going to a lot of anticipation for Arch, man. A lot of anticipation for Arch. All right, who they play? Texas open up with Ohio State, man. 12 o'clock on a Saturday. YouTube TV, Fox, get it done, man. We out here paying all this fucking money, and y'all niggas is over here arguing. Y'all like, yo, get that shit done, man. We try and watch that shit. Like we tried to get away from cable, and now we fucking back into cable. Like, what the fuck? Get that shit done. Oh yeah, because YouTube and Fox is negotiating. They got to the 27th. Lo and behold, right before fucking college and NFL start. Jeez. But nah, Saturday, 12 o'clock, they play Ohio State. Go Bucks. All right, next up, we got the other guy they're playing 7:30 that night on Saturday at Clemson. They playing LSU. We got the other boy. I think Cade Klubnik. Let's go, Cade Klubnik. John Matier. Cade Klubnik, I think he might be the highest quarterback on this list from what I've seen. But yeah, let's look at Cade Klubnik. So let's see. We got Cade Klubnik. He looks like kind of on the same level as Nussmeier. Like, look like he has a personality to be that winner. You know. But anyway, his NFL comps: Ryan Tannehill, Drew Lock. So that's with the Nussmeier and Colt McCoy. Uh, so his quick release, he has a quick release mechanics, has a compact fluid throwing motion, and gets the ball out quickly for timing based offenses. He has mobility and escapability. He's a good athlete. He can extend plays. He move well in the pocket and take off when needed. He has leadership and poise, highly respected in the locker room, carries himself like a franchise quarterback, and doesn't rattle easily under pressure. Short to intermediate accuracy, excels in RPOs, quick game accurate when throwing in rhythm, especially on slant screens and outs. He has a high football IQ. He processes defenses quickly, pre-snap, and shows solid decision-making and structure. Great. All great things to hold him up there. As far as this is stupid. A good floor. Sounds like a team will want to invest. As far as I forgot Arch. Do I expect Arch to come out? Nah. I mean, if he does well, he will. Who has the number one? I can't see him. On the Browns or anything. Maybe the Rams. Arch with the Rams. I think that would be a good situation. Arch with the Rams. Nah, I'm having some technical difficulties. But let's go to the cons. Inconsistent deep ball. Klubnik's deep accuracy and touch can be erratic on throws, tending to sail or die if not perfectly timed. Like, what happened, man? Back to my notes. Sorry for that. Undeveloped pocket presence. Still learning how to feel the rush and step up intends to drift backwards and escape too early. Okay. So some Shador stuff in there or some Lenora Sellis type stuff. You know, you want him to maintain the pocket, be one with the pocket. You don't want him drifting because you can drift into the rush. And then you don't want him to like not allow something to develop, which is, but I guess because of how the style he played. Limited physical ceiling. While athletic, he doesn't have elite arm strength for size compared to top NFL prospects. Production versus talent gap. For all his traits, his on-field production hasn't consistently matched his high recruiting profile. Needs to put it together. Now, where would I see Cade Klubnik? Maybe the Jets. I can see the Jets. Who else would need a quarterback? Rams. Sean McVay might want to get a hold of him. Next up. Next up, we have John Mateer. He went to Washington State. Then he transferred to Oklahoma. So let's check out his highlights. shit. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to watch him play. See what he does. NFL comps, Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones. It was like athletic, but be making mistakes is Daniel Jones. And then you got Josh Allen. So I think the comp wise is like streamlined. Jalen Hurts is the even kill. Daniel Jones is if the weaknesses doesn't, if he doesn't get better with the weaknesses, it could be Daniel Jones. But if you take the weaknesses and allow him to develop in the right situation, he could become a Josh Allen. So another note, I feel kind of bad for Washington State because they be losing quarterbacks to the transfer portal. They had Cam Ward, he went to Miami. You just had John Mateer, now he's going to Oklahoma. Can't keep him there. I guess they want that recognition. So he's in Oklahoma now. Oh, so he had a record-breaking first year as a starter. In his first season at Washington State, Mateer passed for 3,100 yards, 826 yards rushing, and total 44 touchdowns, earning Pac-12 Offensive Performer of the Year. I mean, he keep putting up numbers like that at Oklahoma. That's Heisman worthy right there. Elite dual threat capability, high mobile, forces defense to account for both pass and rush, creating explosive opportunities. I should have put him on the other slide with the other quarterbacks that was more mobile. Connor O'Gara notes he's one of the nation's most dangerous field stretchers. Big time plays under pressure. Despite allowing pressure, Mateer ranked number 4 in the FBS QBR under pressure and forced 54 missed tackles, tied for number 1 in the FBS. Yeah. Strong NFL game potential. They fuck with him in college football. He had a number 1 overall, 92 throw power, 96 off script throw, 89 agility. When paired with familiar OC Ben Arbuckle and playing an SEC level offense, Mateer has a wide variance with top tier upside if things click. I'm gonna definitely be watching him. Cons, turnover and sack vulnerability. He led the FBS in sacks allowed and had the 3rd most turnover-worthy plays when clean. When clean, his decision making needs polish under pressure. When clean, his decision making needs polish under pressure. No risk it. No biscuit. Risky downfield decision making. Threw the most interceptions on 20+ yard throws in FBS, though also among the leaders in downfield touchdowns. Give or take. So I did see this. He had a Venmo screenshots referencing sports gambling sparked the scrutiny. Mateer denied actual betting, saying they were inside jokes, but the issue remains a cloud over his head. Might not be the sharpest knife in the tool, or might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer. I mean, I could see as like a college kid playing the jokes, but come on. With Johnny Manziel and all that shit that then went down and gambling and Terrell Pryors, and you know how they feel. You know, with gambling being prevalent now, you know how these leagues are feeling about that shit. You don't want to play with it. He has limited FBS experience. Only 1 season as a full-time SBF starter against mostly group of 5 opponents, which leaves his readiness for SEC defenses untested. See, and I think for him having such great success in the Pac-12, if you really want to take that to the next level, you really want to challenge yourself, you go to the SEC. So let's see what he did. Materials are both outcome uncertainty, high variable. Material seen as a both potential playoff driving quarterback or a midseason bench candidate. That's crazy. Don't save. But I am with Mateer. I am ready to see how he does in the SEC. Hopefully the gambling shit doesn't really mess him up. But yeah, I think if he hits the ground running and can be on that trajectory to really like stable himself, I think he could be a Heisman candidate. I think all of them could be a Heisman candidate with a real shit. All right. So we did Garret Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Arch Manning, John Mateer, Drew Allar. Oh, Mateer, he was that was his first year, so I don't know if he would come out. Maybe Colts if Shane Steichen stays. Maybe that's what they'd be looking for. I don't know. And Oklahoma plays Illinois State August 30th, 6 p.m. So he should ball out now. That should be a game he balls out on. But yeah, that's the college quarterback spotlight. The Future Stars Unleash. Saturday, August 30th. It's going to be a slate games. All these quarterbacks are playing. Can't wait to watch that. Hopefully, YouTube and Fox Sports Fox can handle the business so we can watch it for the YouTube TV the subscribers. Like I said, so in my series of doing the college quarterback spotlight, we did Arch Manning, Cade Klubnik, Drew Allar, Garret Nussmeier, John Mateer, Taylor Green, Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway, Marcel Reed. I'm following those quarterbacks closely. Follow me on TikTok. Every week I'm gonna just give an update on the quarterbacks that I'm following. I wanted to do wide receivers too, but it's a lot because I'm still doing NFL stuff. So and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do each week when it comes to the NFL stuff. Like how do I want to cover that? How do I want to play that? How do I want to make it fun but informational? Highlights. I might spotlight who of the top 5 performers from the quarterback position, top 5 performers from wide receiver position, because those are who I usually focus on. My fantasy draft is coming up Thursday. I know a lot of other people have done their fantasy drafts. So hey man, just check out all the other previous videos. Check out College Spotlight Part 1. My week 1, I think I went through a whole week 1. I went through a whole year of records and divisions, winners, playoff joints. We still doing the quarterback summer madness. I got the votes for the last one. So, and I want to do another NFL roundtable before the season starts. I got a few skits I want to get out. But thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for checking out the stream. Hey man, be sure to share. I'm on X, OTHW Trance Bates. I'm on TikTok, which is the same. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions, let me know. If you would like to be a sponsor or advertisement, get your product out, let me know. We can talk, we can chop it up. But hey man, this is just, I'll be at work talking about football. So watching highlights. So this is the formulation of it. We're getting ready for the NFL season. I started it over summer, so it's time to kick it into high gear. Let's go. I mean, like I just did this 55 minutes, nothing. But yeah, of this group one, Mateer might have been the best. Probably Mateer, but Arch is probably the most interesting. But Mateer, I do want to see what that turns into. But hey, man, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out. Share off the highlights with Trans Bates. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your college weekend. Get them futures in. I think it was futures today for Tuesday. Get them futures in. Get them bets in. Let's go, man. Let's make some money out here.
Hey, Trent, do you have an opinion? Yeah, I do. When the fucking Texans play?